Hello YouTube world, I am back. It's been a while, I know, I'm sorry. It's been so busy here. One of the reasons which is the UK Fluid Art event, which was, for the first one, which was a massive success. We were just absolutely blown away with the response that we got. So we're looking to do more in the future. But in the meantime, back to today. I've just got some inspiration. I don't know whether you have watched the news. As you know, I'm known for my trees on my acrylic pours. And Sycamore Gap was in the news recently. Now, Sycamore Gap is a landmark World Heritage site that the tree grows in a dip there. You can see this is from the Northumberland National Park website. And it's been there for around 300 years, they think, and somebody's come along and they've decided to chop it down. And people are in uproar, and rightly so. You know, it's such an iconic landmark that we will never have back again in our lifetime. So I'm sure there's many artists out there thinking, I'm going to get my brushes out and I'm going to paint it, which is exactly what I wanted to do with a pearl pour background. Now, they're not really colours that I normally use. In fact, you can see here, I'm just preparing my canvas. I don't know why. I do know why. Sometimes with a pearl pour, your paint's thin and you tip in a lot of paint off the canvas, and sometimes the colour can run off and you're left with a bit of see-through. So to counteract that, I am just blending a background using a couple of colours, and actually in the hope that it will shine through. We will see. But anyway, I did this, painted the edges as well, and just let it dry. And I'm just being really rough here, actually, just slapping it on, and then I will blend it in with a soft brush. You saw me spraying the back of the canvas there because it was a little bit flabby. It's not an expensive canvas, and just if you spray the back, it makes it more taut. I've left this to dry. It's probably about an hour later, and I've got a very specific composition in mind. And one of the things that I said on the Fluid Art event is that as fluid artists we can get carried away with effects and they take over the composition of the painting, and really what sells a painting is a composition. I'm not saying don't have effects, of course we want effects in the right place, all the right places, but it's a balance, isn't it? And here I'm doing a double swirl. This is coral, and I know coral's quite a light density paint. This is a mixture of coral and sapphire blue, and I put a couple of drops of silicone in here, and I really wish I never did. I was panicking a bit because the tests that I'd done weren't really overly successful, and I just decided, oh, for goodness sake, just go for it, and which is what I'm doing here. That's sapphire with silver mixed in. And you can see the silicone starting to work there. What colour is this I'm putting on now? Oh, that is, I am not sure. I will let you know. And this is silver. Oh, and always, just don't leave the lids off your bottles, okay? It's not a good idea because within the space of half an hour, it dried. and if you press too hard, it's all going to splurge out and your top will come off, which isn't a good idea either. I know it looks like I'm being really random, but there is a theory behind the madness. Excuse me. So this is a mixture of black and white. I didn't want to use black because obviously I'm drawing a tree over the top in black. And what I'm doing is just doing the swirly bit. I'm swirling the paint around, and what I want to do is try and get that black over as much of that colour as I can before I start tipping it off. I don't want to start tipping straight away and lose all my colour. And the theory is the light density paints, which are the deco art, the colours, will come to the top through the black and the white there, because they are Amsterdam heavy bodied, heavy density paint. Oh, look at that awful reflection of my face. Oh, that's bad. The heavy density paint will sink to the bottom and you get all those lovely pearly effects. My pouring medium I will put in the description, but here is a link at the top there to my pearl pours, my recipes, and there's all sorts of various techniques that you can use to do pearl pours. So you want to get a lot of that black off. You reach a point where you're looking at the bottom of the canvas to see how much paint's dripping off, but at the same time you're keeping an eye on all these cells at the top here. They're all beginning to appear, and as soon as they reach a point where they are really beginning to show up, you want to stop tilting, because what you'll do is you'll elongate all those lovely pearls, and then when you put the painting down you can't pick it up and tilt again. Now I'm just torching here to activate what silicone is in there. It's not too much, but it also does pop up all the air bubbles, and it brings all that light density paints to the top. You leave it for a good half hour. So this is what I want all over the canvas. I'm going to be putting the silhouette of the tree here with the hills going up. So I know I'm going to lose this, and I really wanted that coral to come in the middle here. Hopefully it's underneath there. I'm just going to leave it for, I'd say, half an hour. They takes half an hour for things to happen, and I did have silicone in one of these colours, but just one drop, and I can see here where I didn't paint the canvas below, it's hit the bare canvas, and that's what causes these little white pockets, circles. But again, that's going to be covered up. I just really want more of that coral to come through. I know the coral is a light density paint, so I know it might just be taking its time. So far, so good. Okay, so this is quite a few days later. It's dried very well. I did bring all of this back out using the coral, using little balloon kisses, which I was hoping I didn't have to do, but it did allow me to control the composition. Just really love all this detail up here. Okay, I'm going to draw the tree on here now. Lots of people ask me how I draw trees. It's the same as you draw anything else. You find a reference and you use that reference as best you can, and you draw what you see, or you draw your own interpretation of it. I'm going to use, because this is quite dark, I'm actually going in with acrylic paints, black paint, fine brushes. I also use these Sakura brush pens, and they come in brush pens, and they can also get them in fine liners. They are an archival pen, and they come in different thicknesses. Brush pens, they're very good. But we'll see how we go. This might take a while because there's a lot of detail in there. So yeah. Oh, I fell off my ladder. We'll see how it goes. Difficult to find space to film at the moment. This is on my studio floor, so excuse the mess. Here we go. This is the finished one. Now I did lighten some of that coral with brushwork, just put a bit more movement in there. I'm not sure whether this painting works for me anyway. I think it definitely represents a starry night. A bit of a sunset feel to it, or it could be sunrise. Oops. But there are some lovely effects in the pearl pour, and the varnish will really bring those colours back up. Deliberately kept the brush strokes in the bottom, a bit random. No, I hope. Well, it's a lovely reminder of what was. Very sad. Thanks for watching, guys.